Alrighty, this is base camp. The boys are down there, cutting down trees. I'm dismantling this.
Boys, assemble.
Oh, Lige, come on.
Stop that on my face, mate.
Hey.
Like a lizard, I get scratched onto the chin and then I flop on the floor.
Do the flopping part.
We pulled it down the tree and it got stuck. There's the first support.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here's the base for it. There's Django hard at work for once. Fire time.
I don't feel like lashing with the really nice stuff.
Here's the progress on the hut. Django's working hard. Django and those two aren't. But here is the beauty. So we've got these things lashed up. This is what we're sleeping on, but we're going to put ferns on. There's the lackluster roof. We've reached peak life. Wow, look at that. Lige?
You can eat that.
Hey! This is the life. So we've built a lovely campsite. There's a lovely fire, Lige's own design. And there's the hut. Boom. Now Noah, because he's a big boy, has built himself some wonderful stairs.
Best thing you've ever seen.
And so he's built the grooves and he's going to tie it in and it's... Alright, let's see it now. And then second step.
Second step's all tied in.
So they're crap stairs. And then we've got enough space for about 18 million people. So basically the whole population of Australia can sleep in here.
Oh my goodness days, look at all these cold plates.
Look, camera, Xavier's wrong.
I'm not wrong. There's the goods. And there's some more goods.
Yep.
Keep chopping. Keep chopping.
Chopper lopping.
We're meant to do the celery and the carrot at the same time as them as well.
Oh.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, yes, necessarily.
Well, no, we can.
And then Django said yum yum maybe.
We are
after
cooking.
lunch, let's take the hassle up. He said no.
The old drizzle.
We don't want it to start burning.
Django hard at work, chopping away.
That's nice and sweet, actually.
Sweet celery. That is getting sizzly. If that's not making you hungry, I don't know what is. You got to make sure your carrots and celery are diced,
And not spilt.
and then you want to make sure the chorizo
Well,
and bacon is pretty much cooked,
And sticking.
slightly brown and not sticking. Make sure they're oiled so they don't char.
And have 3 hands.
And yes, you also want to make sure you got lots of diced tomatoes and lots of beans. And you also need a big cast iron pot. If it's anything else, it's not going to work. Once the carrots are somewhat cooked, you want to put it in the stew pot.
Like this.
Like that. And you got to make sure none spills out, otherwise the standard stew will be ruined. And then you put the other stuff in there, right?
Yeah.
And so we get the stuff. Fun fact, we cooked this before. If you didn't see, then you probably aren't watching. That's all good.
You know, you might be watching on 1.5 times speed.
Yeah.
And if
You might have missed it.
you're going to miss everything.
Now, don't cook standard stew on 1.5 times speed. Alright, and then you put your pan to the side. Don't start a bushfire, because bushfires are bad. And depending on how many people you're cooking for, if you're cooking for maybe 1 or 2, you can do 1 can. If you're doing more than that, probably 2 or 3.
Dispose of packaging carefully.
Which beans next?
Kidney.
Kidney?
Wait, we have a while.
I have 3 cans of beans and 3 cans of tomato.
And then another thing of tomatoes, I reckon. And that looks pretty terrible right now, but when it's all mixed up and cooking, it's maybe the best thing.
Ever.
Maybe. Make sure you don't throw the spatula across the campsite.
Subscribe button is white.
It doesn't look very appetizing, but the tomato will kind of boil away.
It
So
looks delicious.
it looks terrible. Alright, come on, let's put it in the fire.
Chuck some water in there with it.
Add a dash of water, that's about 3 teaspoons and a bit more.
That's about right.
And then chuck the lid on, which is over there. Make sure, yep, because you don't want pieces of bark in the standard stew. Because
don't. That's right, Xavier.
yeah,
It's actually good protein.
oh, don't no. Oh, that's on camera. The camera's going to get too hot, so we're going to pause. The standard stew's been cooking for about 15-20 minutes. It looks actually really good. We've got standard stew, we've got speaker, we've got Django.
Most important part. The speaker.
Look at that colour.
It's pretty scrumptious.